The Beatles, English quartet of composers and musicians. Members are John Lennon, Ringo Starr, Paul McCartney, and George Harrison. Today's list is Top 5 Reasons I Love the Beatles. Number 1, why shouldn't I start things off with the one, the only, John Lennon. Now back in this year's Jan term, which is basically like a Maymester but in January, I took a class on the Beatles, which I really enjoyed, and before this class I probably would have said that Paul was my favorite Beatle. I grew up on the Beatles, I listened to them a lot as a kid and things like that. If I could go back in time, I would definitely be one of the screaming fangirls, but I'd have to say that I just want to be friends with all of them. John, he's an amazing musician, so funny, and he has a great personality. I wouldn't want to be in a relationship with him for a moment. He's a womanizer and things like that, and that's, I know, why a lot of people hate him, but I just want to be a friend with him. Number 2. Now, if I could go back in time and be the fangirl specifically of one Beatle that I would want to be friends with, be in a relationship, whichever, Ringo. Just from watching the anthology and all of the movies that they made, oh my gosh, Ringo is he's so witty, he's so funny, he's hysterical, really, and he's so talented. One of the things that Lainey and I noticed is that he doesn't strike a drum, he doesn't strike a cymbal, he just swipes it, keeps time, does all this cool stuff, and then he's like, hey, in the background, he's so happy to be there. I love it. Of course, he's 70 now. We're talking about young. Number 3, one of the things I didn't fully know about when I started taking the class was that they had made movies. Hard Day's Night, Yellow Submarine, Magical Mystery Tour, and Help. Hard Day's Night didn't really have a plot, but I was thoroughly amused. Help does have a plot, and it just makes me love Ringo even more. Yellow Submarine, they didn't do their own voices, but I loved it anyway. I believe they're coming out with a new version of it this next year, and I'm so ready for that. And Magical Mystery Tour, which everybody hates on, if you take them in segments by themselves, then I find it amusing. The putting them together thing didn't really work too well, but I was still amused. Number 4, now the Beatles really mainstreamed the long hair on guys thing. I'm sure that if they hadn't, that somebody else would have, but you can thank them for guys who need long hair to look attractive, that they look attractive. And number 5. That boy took my love away. He'll regret it someday. But this boy wants you back again. In summary, I love the song This Boy, but largely I like it better when John sings it, so go find that somewhere. Yes, I sang the whole thing. No, you're not gonna hear it. And only to justify why I don't put Paul on my list of top 5 reasons I love the Beatles, I am sickeningly, painfully, hurtfully jealous of him. I hate Paul. He's a musical genius without effort. He has perfect tempo and perfect pitch, and like I said, he's a genius and jealous. But really, I think he's pretty okay. In this dictionary, where I have to look up online most of the words that I use as a definition, it actually has the Beatles.